Hey there YouTube, this is Lucifer Lake Warden coming back at you with another video. And just give me 1 second here. It's the afternoon and I'm still enjoying coffee. Alright, this is a subject that I've been wanting to touch upon for a while now, involving Satanism. Excuse me. Especially since my one video where I was criticizing the Church of Satan for their lack of activity against Satanic Temple and whatnot, and clarifying things. There is a few things that I've actually been asked about in the past involving Church of Satan and Satanic Temple. Now, before I get into it, I need to reiterate one major thing here. I do not represent the Church of Satan. I am not a member of the Church of Satan. I never have been, and I never, probably at this point, never will be. That's personally not a problem for me, whatnot. So, with that out of the way, I do know members in the Church of Satan. I do have friends who, or acquaintances, I should say, who are members of the Church of Satan. They have fed me info that I've spoken about in previous videos. But I've actually been questioned as to what my problem with the Church of Satan is, and it's a pretty interesting question um, on what it is, and what my problem is not really a problem with the Church of Satan itself. The Church of Satan is fine the way it is, but the problem is that the way it is not the way that it was created. Okay, and people need to understand that the current Church Satan that is there under Peter H. Gilmore's rule is not the same Church Satan that it was under Anton LaVey's rule. Now, I say this, and I say it understanding that there are members of the Church Satan who were there during Anton LaVey's rule, and they stayed um, up to this day. You know, they were there for decades underneath Anton LaVey's rule and was perfectly fine with the complete transition over. What the Church of Satan is, there's been 3 different styles of Satanism that have come out of the Church of Satan over the years. And I am a Laveyan, but I'm a different type of Laveyan that I'm what I refer to, and what several other people refer to as a pre-1975 Laveyan. And I'll get into more on that subject later and clarify exactly what the different types are. The current Church Satan is what is starting to get branded and called a Gilmorean Satanist. And a lot of people don't really understand what the difference between a true Laveyan, a pre-1975 Laveyan, and a Gilmorean Satanist is. And that's what I'm going to try to clarify in this video. To start off with, everything involving the Church of Satan starts with this book. And that's General Satanism in general. It's the Satanic Bible by Anton LaVey. This is the book that LaVey initially put out just a few years after he started up the Church of Satan. And it has been the gateway to Satanism for decades, since the late 60s, early 70s. So all Satanism stems from this book. Now, this is a pre-1975 based book. The introduction is by Peter H. Gilmore, the current high priest of the Church of Satan. But there's been numerous other people that have written introductions to the Satanic Bible. People from Old Wolf, I can't remember all of them. You can actually go online and find a PDF copy of the Satanic Bible Underground Edition, Volume 2 or later, and be given the full introductions from all the different people who have written the introductions for this book, which I think is a really cool thing. I actually wish that they would just go ahead and republish this book with the underground edition content added in. I think that would really be a cool and amazing thing to do. But ultimately, copyrights and whatnot, who knows, maybe sometime in the future. Now, Peter H. Gilmore is the current high priest of the Church of Satan, and he has founded his own branch of Laveyan Satanism, which people have started. It's still very small, but I've heard it being referred to, and I've picked it up to differentiate it. It being called Gilmorean Satanism. And Gilmorean Satanism is what the Church of Satan is currently. Okay, whatever. My dog does that all the time, just out of the blue. And you can see it. There's a few documentaries, and I actually have one documentary right here. I have the other ones on my computer and whatnot. I need to purchase them and order them in and whatnot, which would really be great. But the one documentary which shows modern Satanism, modern Church Satanism, under Peter H. Gilmore's rule. Excuse me. My apologies about that. My dog is growling at whatever and just overall being a dork. He does that. I love him to death, but he does it. Anyways, the documentary I'm referring to is called Inside the Church of Satan, and part of this documentary is really interesting. It features a satanic ritual from start to finish, performed by Magister Michael Rose, called The Rite of Ragnarok, which can be found in Peter H. Gilmore's book, The Satanic Scriptures. A very interesting book. It features a lot of articles by Peter H. Gilmore. It's sort of like his version of the Satanic Bible, but not. What I really like about this book and whatnot is his inclusion of various rituals, including the Rite of Ragnarok, a item consecration ritual, basically where you consecrate various items such as rosaries or other tools, and the marriage, funerary rites. Those were never seen anywhere else, and he was kind enough to actually include them into his book. And I've found his book for the ritual parts very handy, very good, and whatnot. Do I agree with Peter H. Gilmore? Not on a lot of things. And one of the biggest points, and this is where I'm going to get at, one of the biggest points that separates Gilmorean Satanism from Laveyan Satanism is during Anton LaVey's time, from the pre-1975 era all the way up to his death. Anton LaVey was adamant about one huge factor, and that is Satanism has nothing to do with atheism. That's simple. If you are a Satanist, you're a Satanist, not an atheist. Now, you can look into various pieces by Anton LaVey. He produced a number of works and whatnot. And in those works, he flat out states Satanism is not atheism. What you can also do is you can also find a PDF copy of the Grotto Master's Handbook and read through it. And I read some of these pieces out of the Grotto Master's Handbook a while back in a much earlier video, that they flat out, in no uncertain terms, say flat out, Satanism has nothing to do with atheism. It is not atheism. And it explains that if you are a Satanist, you have a religion. Okay, atheists, it's not a religion, it's a philosophy of life. What's more is atheists don't practice ritual or any of this other stuff that Satanism does. In Satanism, we blatantly have ritual. I filmed satanic rituals that we performed here in my house and produced and published them. You can see the solitary black mass ritual, and my son's baptism ritual, which I've published here, and I plan on publishing more videos of rituals. So that is the big difference, is Laveyan Satanism, both pre-1975 Laveyanism and post-1975 Laveyanism, have flat out stated that it's not atheism, it's not humanism, it is Satanism. That's it. Peter H. Gilmore, on the other hand, and you can check into it. He mentions it right in this book. He also mentions it in the 6606 Satanic High Mass ritual video, which is a really cool video. I suggest everybody go just check it out if you haven't already. The Church of Satan has published it. It was filmed on 6606 in Los Angeles, and you see some really big name members of the Church of Satan, including Peter H. Gilmore and a now ex-member called Rex Diabolus Church. Really cool people, and it's a really cool ritual to watch. We perform the High Mass here, and have codified it. As a matter of fact, in this is sort of my grimoire. We will be performing this ritual, the All Hallows Mass, one of my own creation, this Halloween. And the High Mass is one that we do quite regularly, and it is the full ritual combining all three of Anton LaVey's rituals together. So that's what we got. Now, coming back to what is called pre-1975 Laveyanism. Perhaps the best place to see pre-1975 Laveyanism in action is to first read the Satanic Bible, because this is definitely pre-1975. This was published in 1969, okay? The other place is to go go watch this documentary. It's called Satanas, the Devil's Mass. If you're a Satanist, no doubt you've already watched this. If you're a Satanist worth your Baphomet or whatnot, this is something you've probably already seen. But that is pre-1975 Satanism. I'm not sure exactly of the year. This was from 1970. Yeah, 1970. I don't know if you can see that or whatnot. That is pre-1975 Laveyanism in action. Okay, now, why call it pre-1975 Laveyanism? What is pre-1975 Laveyanism compared to post-1975 Laveyanism? In 1975, a schism happened within the Church of Satan. Anton LaVey restructured the church to follow a slightly different pathway than what he was before. Now, some say he started following a more atheistic path. Others, say no, that's not the case. He was just shedding some unwanted people. Whatever the case was, it did change how Satanism was approached by the Church of Satan initially, and it made way and made room for the later atheism elements to come in, even though Anton LaVey at this point was still flat out saying atheism doesn't belong here. Pre-1975 Church of Satan openly admits that there is room for belief in an actual Satan. Okay? It does not diss anybody for believing in a real Satan or whatnot. Post-1975 Satanism doesn't really openly admit it. It's almost, the long-running rumor was that it was a two-tiered structure where outwardly they say, no, we don't believe in an actual Satan. He's just a metaphor, while still not saying we're atheists, no. But internally they were like, oh yes, Satan is very real. This is sort of supported when you read the Grotto Master's Handbook and you read through certain sections where it's blatant that they are telling you Satan is real. Okay, this is right in the Grotto Master's Handbook. I have a PDF copy of it, and I've had current Church of Satan members try to tell me that no, that never said that. Nowhere is it ever said. It is said. Okay, I don't know exactly. I believe Blanche Barton wrote the Grotto Master's Handbook, the copy that I have. And the copy I have, it doesn't really state who the actual author is, but a lot of people want to believe that it was either one of LaVey's spouses, or significant others, or Anton LaVey himself, and that really makes sense. Now, excuse me. Those are the main differences. Pre-1975 LaVeyans, like me, actually do tend to believe in a very real Satan. Okay? We're not joking. When we say hail Satan, we are actually hailing Satan, but we're also hailing ourselves. It is a very interesting take on it. Post-1975 Satanists may or may not believe in Satan outwardly, okay? And many of them have become Gilmoreans. A lot of them have. Now, here's the interesting part. When Anton LaVey died, Carla LaVey, Blanche Barton, and Zena LaVey, for a time, were all running the Church of Satan together. And over the next couple of years, Carla LaVey split from the Church of Satan and said, "This is not my father's Satanism." She went back to San Francisco and started up the First Satanic Church, taking with her many old school members of the Church of Satan. And the First Satanic Church still runs today under Carla LaVey's rule. You can go check out their website. It's nothing much to see. You can't just sign up online with them. You've got to send them a message. They send you the paperwork. You fill it out in person. You send it in, and they screen the hell out of you to get any sort of access. They also run the 600 Club, so you can meet a lot of people there. The 1975 Schism also spawned a different satanic church called the Temple of Set by Michael Aquino. Michael Aquino is a very respected member of our community, and he was a very close personal friend of Anton LaVey before 1975. He was a high-ranking member in the Church of Satan, second only to Anton LaVey. As a matter of fact, he's written a lot of our more metaphysical literature. And when the 1975 Schism happened, and he and a lot of others separated from the Church of Satan, they didn't want to end what was going on, so they created their own organization that became known as the Temple of Set. In each schism era, okay, or each schism or splitting of things, members who were Church of Satan that did not really care for the way things were being restructured in the Church of Satan did split off and successfully create their own organizations. Zena LaVey, who is known to be very estranged in her day from her father, went to Germany with her husband, Nicholas Schreck, and they started up several different organizations, and they still run groups over there. They're not really focused on Satanism so much, but they are still active, and they still run their own unique organizations there. Now it's mostly tantric and Zen type stuff. Carla LaVey, she went to San Francisco, returned to San Francisco, and opened up the First Satanic Church, while Michael Aquino, Dr. Michael Aquino, in 1975-76, he opened up the Temple of Set, and all these organizations and these people still run it today. The Church of Satan itself is still very active today with a large membership. How large? I don't know. Some people say it's waning, some people say it's growing. Who knows? But what you need to understand, if you're thinking about joining the Church of Satan, And you find that, yes, you do believe that there is a Satan out there, you don't know how to approach it or whatnot, you might want to take a step back and be like, wait, this might not be a good fit for me, because you may not be what the Church of Satan is currently, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't care. I've had current Church of Satan members attack me. You can go back and see some of my videos, and you can see them saying that I need to go back and read the Satanic Bible and whatnot again, that I don't understand Satanism and whatnot. And what it is not that I don't understand it, it's that I'm a different style. I'm a different denomination, so to speak. What I am in Satanism is not what they are. They are Peter H. Gilmore, Gilmorean Satanists. They're still Satanists. They're still very much so Satanists, very close to Laveyan Satanists. As a matter of fact, that's what they call themselves, is Laveyan. Most of them haven't caught on to the fact that they're being referred to as Gilmorean. But they are Church of Satan members, and that's what the Church of Satan is today. Same goes that if you behaved or thought of things in a pre-1975 fashion, you may not have fully fit into the post-1975 Church of Satan, even under Anton LaVey. But more often than not, you would. So there's a lot of different things there to consider. Remember, all Satan, no matter what branch you find yourself going into, please start with the Satanic Bible. Go out, read it, buy it. This explains a lot of the core fundamentals that you will grow off of in this book. It is absolutely essential. I also recommend, even though I don't agree with Peter H. Gilmore, please don't get me wrong, that you go out and you pick up his book as well, and you look through it, you read it, and you come to understand what his points of views are. If you find yourself agreeing with him, great. I'm happy for you. But if you don't feel distressed. There is other things out there. Lastly, but not leastly, look for the documentaries that have been out by, about the Church of Satan and whatnot. The Satanic Temple has its new documentary out called Hail Satan. If you're looking into Church of Satan and Laveyan style Satanism, do not bother with Satanic Temple. I've explained this in the past. They have no connection to Laveyan Satanism whatsoever. So ignore their documentary for the current moment. Eventually you're going to want to see it, and I will recommend that you go out and see it. I still have yet to see it, which I'm actually going to be looking for here soon and will be looking forward to. But I do recommend you go out, you check out Satanas, the Devil's Mask. It recently just got put out on Blu-ray with a new movie called Satan's Children. It is out on DVD with another movie packaged in with it called Satan's Doll or something like that. They're very interesting movies from the 70s and whatnot. So those are the things that I recommend you do. Also, go and check out Inside the Church of Satan. It's a really good documentary. I recommend it and everything. Check out the 6606 High Mass Ritual video as well. And if you feel up to it, go back in my timeline, check out my ritual videos and whatnot. Thank you all for bearing with me. I understand that this is a longer video. I hope this video really helps clarify a few things. And if you're a Church of Satan member, please understand, I am not attacking you in this video. I am not criticizing you or whatnot. This video is meant to help educate people on the different styles of Laveyanism that has spawned over the course of the entire Church of Satan's lifetime, from its founding in 1966 to our current day here in October of 2019, and the different styles. There is nothing wrong with being a Gilmorean Satanist. There is nothing wrong with being a post-75 Laveyan. There is nothing wrong with being a pre-1975 Laveyan. The only thing you need to understand is you may not fit in with the main group. If you're looking to join the Church of Satan, you may not agree with their current models, mottos, and outlooks of things. There's nothing wrong with that. You just need to find a different avenue. So that's what I got for you all today. If you like this video, now that it's 25 minutes long, please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. While you're hitting that subscribe button, don't forget to hit that bell notification. That way you know whenever I'm putting up another video. And please tell me what you think in the comments down below. If you find yourself as different from Church of Satan or whatnot, I'd love to hear your story on how you came about to being in Satanism and how you have branched away or into your own style, system, and outlooks on it, whether you are or are not a Church of Satan member. Thank you all. And until next time, this is Lucifer Lake Borden. Hail Satan, hail thyself, and I will see you later. I'm out of here.